Which royal has bolted to Balmoral? Hi, good morning, Neil Sean here in the heart of London. Behind me, actually, if you're wondering what that particular view is, it's the West Tower of the famous Houses of Parliament. And this particular park where I'm standing is literally adjacent to the Houses of Parliament. And in the old days, well, not that old days in fact, but a few years back, this really was where all the leading politicians of the day used to wander around at lunchtime and early evening, chewing the fat, as they say, and basically telling each other what their plans were and what was happening. I guess, you know, really sort of like Gossip Girl, going through everything that had gone on in the house that day. A marvellous location as ever, and of course a stone's throw from the Houses of Parliament. As I always say, when you come to London, if you get a chance, do come into these places, because you never know who you're going to bump into. Trust me, you truly never know. Now, I don't know if you've seen this particular ongoing story. That, of course, is related to one of our senior members of the British monarchy, who allegedly, according to the media, has sort of vanished out of Windsor and dashed and bolted up to Balmoral to escape the clutches of being served any papers. It's all very dramatic, isn't it? Very Sherlock Holmes, that sort of stuff. But as ever here on the channel, we want to tell you the true story. What's truly happened is this: His Royal Highness the Duke of York, Prince Andrew, has indeed gone up to Balmoral. That's at the specific request of our gracious Majesty the Queen. As we've told you many times here on the channel, this is where she takes her holidays, of course, at this time of year. And how it happens is this: you don't just rock up with your suitcase on wheels saying, "I've arrived." You have to be personally invited, even if you are children of the monarch, simply because she's that busy. She is a busy monarch. Now, what happens is when you receive your allotted slot, and of course, I think more so now because of the COVID problems, that's when you can attend. Now, we know Prince Charles and Camilla have already been there, and last week we had Kate and William. But this week it's the turn of His Royal Highness the Duke of York. So there's no real sort of dramatic story that he left Windsor alongside his former wife Sarah Ferguson to go up there to be protected from being served papers by the FBI. What we can tell you here on the show is this: there is no way that the FBI can simply serve papers on His Royal Highness the Duke of York. It doesn't work like that. There is no concrete evidence, or so far a concrete case, particularly here in British law. It just doesn't simply work like that. Now, a lot of people are saying, yes, well, you know, why hasn't he stepped forward to try and clear his name? That is exactly what the Duke of York is trying to do. That's why he spent a lot of time with his lawyers, and these are very expensive lawyers who know the law inside and out, and no doubt are advising him to his absolute best. Now, as we all know, he made an absolute sham on that interview opposite the girl from Newsnight on the BBC. And I believe, I am told at least, that even he knows now that was a major mistake. But of course, we all make them at that time. So if you want to believe the story that he bolted to Balmoral to hide under the apron strings of Her Majesty the Queen, well, that's a nice fairy tale that you read in fairy books. But the truth is, he's simply been invited for his allotted time to spend with, of course, his beloved mother. Neil Sean in the heart of London.